What is up, guys? In this coverage, we'll understand how Flare network ecosystem continues to exponentially grow, and we'll understand how Ripple is plugging XRP into $5 trillion of banking core. So, let us start at Flare. Look at this. Flare and XRP, the dynamic duo. 1 week since Flare's XRP-Fi integration with Xaman wallet, 18.4 million FXRP minted, 5,400 plus first time users, 98% of holders active in DeFi. Meanwhile, 23.5 million FXRP deposited in Upshift. Now, this is what growth looks like, guys. XRP holders use DeFi when the rails exist. This is huge for week one of the Flare smart accounts, guys. FXRP minted, mint transactions, unique wallets, they all continue to grow. Yeah. Meanwhile, look at this. Crypto Air reposted this. Hugo Fillion, the CEO of Flare Networks, and DeFi Pop, CMO of Yellow, interview from the Wave of Innovation, XRP Australia. If you do not already know, Flare Network and Hugo Fillion, they joined XRP Australia, and this has further cemented the relationship between Ripple and Flare, and this is for the better. I saw a really interesting piece from this interview regarding decentralization and how it is important. Now look at this.
It's a mild distinction.
So now, even in 2026, we're finding that interoperability isn't quite where we want it to be, and we're still relying on multi-sigs or small validation sets. Do you think that decentralizing external data can be solved, and do you really think that decentralization of off-chain data is even achievable?
So I definitely think it's achievable because I think Flare has broadly achieved it. Mm-hmm. I think there are categories of data to which decentralization is applicable. For instance, for crypto prices that you're drawing from other networks or exchanges, you can get quite decentralized with that. You can have, as Flare has 100 validators all contributing to our system, the Flare time series oracle. For stock prices, for instance, immediate stock prices, you only have a couple of feeds. Mm-hmm. Especially there's like one feed from Nasdaq. There's sort of not much point in decentralizing that because you already have a single point of failure anyway. Mm-hmm. We wanted to be able to have maximal decentralization because that gives you maximal trustlessness when building, a bridge for, say, XRP or Bitcoin or anything that is fundamentally decentralized. So I think to answer your question succinctly, yes, I think it's achievable. Why do I think people are still relying on more centralized sets, even for data that is in categories that could benefit from decentralization? I think it's easy. Mm-hmm. And I think, engineering is really hard. And, budgets for infrastructure are not that high. They've never been that high, and it's really expensive. And so I think people just go for the path of least resistance, which is a degree of centralization. And I think, Flare is not competing to be a data provider on lots of different chains. That's not our goal, and there's not really enough money in it, frankly. Mm-hmm. It wouldn't be of benefit to the project were we to try to do that. Our goal has always been to create products that we are comfortable with from a security and decentralization perspective, and that's really where
this is a very huge plus point for the Flare ecosystem. This is coming from Hugo that their main goal is security and decentralization. They want to trust themselves. They've got these enshrined oracles. They do not want to go anywhere else because that is where security issues, the security errors happen, the bridging hacks and whatnot. So this is of utmost importance in the crypto space at this point, that you can rely totally on your own network to do everything you want. Even if you're doing a little, you should be doing that in your within your own ecosystem, which is secure, which is decentralized, which is trustless. So this is really great from Flare. Meanwhile, there was this article posted about the complete trading guide and investment strategies of Flare Network 2026. I saw a piece from this which I wanted to share with you guys. Now look at this. Key use cases and ecosystem development. Look at this. Flare token holders participate in several ecosystem activities beyond simple speculation. Now, the statement that I wanted to share with you guys is that it goes beyond simple speculation. This Flare network, although it will evolve even more, it will bring more use cases, more utility, but even at this point, guys, it goes beyond simple speculation. It is not a speculation asset. Look at this. Delegation to signal providers in the Flare time series oracle allows token holders to earn rewards while contributing to price feed accuracy. So the better the accuracy, more rewards you get. The governance system enables Flare holders to vote on protocol upgrades, parameter adjustments, and treasury allocation decisions. This is also great. Meanwhile, which I talked about, decentralization. Decentralized finance applications built on Flare leverage the network's data protocols to create lending markets, decentralized exchanges, and synthetic asset platforms. And most importantly, the ability to access XRP, Bitcoin, Dogecoin state information without wrapped tokens or bridges differentiates Flare-based DeFi from competitors, because in the wrapped tokens or bridges, there is always a security issue. Most of the time, at least 99.9% of the time, there is a security issue. So Flare Network wants to change that as well. So this is awesome for Flare. Look at this. Flare says that use XRP, use Flare, Dynamic Duo. Both of these assets are making a name for themselves, and rightfully so in the utility space. New all-time high TVL for Flare networks. Look at this. It continues to rise. As I told you guys, that Flare networks is exponentially rising, and both XRP and Flare network communities continue to merge. Look at this. This is Crypto Airy. One of the highlights of Wave of Innovation in Sydney, Australia was spending panel time with Hugo and Ross from Ripple. Hope the video is available to watch soon. So if it is available to watch, we're going to be checking out what it is all about and updating it. Meanwhile, Ripple is making waves of its own, obviously beyond anything. Look at this. Ripple plugs XRP into $5 trillion banking core. This is Triparna Vaishnav. 11 minutes ago, guys, this was posted. So this is totally latest. Ripple DXC Hogan integration connects blockchain payments with a $5 trillion banking platform serving 300 million accounts. By the way, 11 minutes ago, at this point, not at the time of the publishing. Yeah. So this is a quick take. The Ripple DXC Hogan integration connects Ripple technology with DXC's banking platform. The Hogan system manages roughly $5 trillion in banking deposits. You get the idea, guys. When it comes to Flare Network, when it comes to XRP, we're not talking about merely billions. We're talking about disruption of trillions of dollars. So this is what is at stake. The platform supports services for about 300 million bank accounts worldwide. Banks may integrate blockchain payment tools without major system upgrades. Now, why is it important? This is important because you want a blockchain integrated that can do that. You do not, the banks have sensitive data. They cannot go around and always having system upgrades to basically integrate well with the underlying blockchain platform or the network. They want hassle-free system upgrades, which is possible with Ripple's technology. Look at this. Diana over here says that Ripple plus DXC officially launched crypto plugin for banks. Banks can now use XRP instantly. DXC Technology has partnered with Ripple to integrate XRP and RLUSD directly into its Hogan Core banking platform, software already used by major banks worldwide. So the software is already used by major banks worldwide. If you're integrating it over here, then it means that you can easily integrate it elsewhere. So this is awesome for Ripple. This is really great. This integration enables faster cross-border payments. There is a potential expansion of stablecoin infrastructure. Meanwhile, this is a step towards hybrid financial system. What does this mean? The Hogan platform operates at significant scale, supporting around $5 trillion in deposits and hundreds of millions of customer accounts. Integrating blockchain technology into such a large infrastructure network could accelerate adoption within the banking sector. Now, this is the new era where traditional systems and blockchain technology coexist. This is what the Great Reset looks like. This is the new financial system. Meanwhile, 3 minutes read, guys, and this is also latest. Ripple CEO reveals plan to bring XRP into traditional finance by Abudo over here. Look at this. What is Ripple's strategic play? XRP as the guiding star. Acquisitions as key integrators. Ripple's strategy, as articulated by CEO Brad Garlinghouse, revolves around a core principle. XRP is the North Star directing all company decisions. Now, this is obviously one of the best parts best decisions that they can make, guys. Awesome. Flipping the switches, the incremental adoption. Brad aptly describes Ripple's integration strategy as flipping multiple switches. If you remember, we covered in a video that Brad himself has clarified that this is not a flip of a switch moment. This is years of persistence, hard work that is involved in this, and there are multiple switches that in different times have to be switched rather than a single triggering disruptive transformation. And they are continuing this incremental adoption and with the compounding effect. XRP, the catalyst for broader innovation. The beauty of a Ripple strategy lies in the recognition that every strategic move, even those not explicitly branded as XRP focused, ultimately bolsters the XRP ecosystem. Awesome. Meanwhile, the community engagement, amplifying the message beyond strategic acquisitions and internal developments. Ripple recognizes the crucial role of community engagement in driving XRP adoption. Events like XRP Community Day and regional outreach programs actively cultivate a network of passionate advocates who promote the network, dispel misinformation, and champion enterprise education. Guys, XRP goes way beyond just your traditional utility project. It has a really passionate community that is supporting it as well. This is a match made in heaven. So the Ripple's vision extends beyond simply integrating XRP into existing systems. It envisions a future where blockchain technology and traditional finance operate seamlessly together. Meanwhile, look at this. When someone deposits XRP through Xaman, what is happening under the hood to keep it non-custodial and safe, even through volatility? So the XRP holders can check this out, earn your XRP without leaving Xaman. So look at this.
When someone deposits XRP through Xaman, right? What's happening under the hood with the Flare Smart accounts and everything to keep it non-custodial and safe? You know, especially if the market tanks or there is some sort of liquidation risk. Perhaps you can comment on that.
Yeah, so when somebody deposits something through their smart accounts or when they do any interaction, the first thing they do is they send a small payment transaction on XRP Ledger. And in this transaction, they encode the intent they wish for it to happen on the other side, so on Flare chain. And the crucial part is that FDC, so Flare Data Connector, where all the validators agree on what they've seen on the XRP ledger, constantly observes the operator address on the underlying XRP ledger and then checks, okay, this specific XRPL address has sent that instruction. We bridge this over via FDC, and then the contracts in the Flare smart account system again check that this intent was properly breached. It was not made too late. It was made to the correct address. It was made from the correct address, and only then issue an intent that operates only on the account on Flare side that is associated with this XRPL account. So pretty much the whole bridging of both intent and F assets is secured by FDC, and constantly FDC is observing chain and checking what's happening somewhere. And as for what happens if there's a liquidation or something, that is actually not a problem. So we make sure that FXRP on Flare is always one-to-one collateralized with XRP on the XRP ledger. So we're not moving it anywhere. For every FXRP in existence currently on Flare, there is an XRP on XRP ledger that we know is there, and users can always redeem back to it. So it's never going out. We're just locking it for a future use when somebody wants to bridge back.
Folks, multiple developments are happening for XRP and Flare Network. What do you guys think about both of these projects? I would really like your opinions. Do hit the comment box below and let the community know. And if you're interested in utility crypto coverage, do subscribe to the channel and smash that notification icon. Until next time, stay blessed.